Oh, hey guys. A lot of people ask me, hey VTech fan, it's a pain in the ass trying to change a tire for a pit bike, especially with the smaller, like 10-inch wheels on the ground with screwdrivers and all this stuff. And especially if you don't have a tire machine or one of those manual tire machines, it could be a pain in the ass to do it on the floor. But I got a trick for you. All you need is a simple vise. Let me show you how to set it up. You'll need the vise, and you use the axle from the bike. Very simple. And one of the spacers off either end. Simply set the axle up in the vise. You really want to tighten that down. This way, she's not going anywhere. Slide the axle spacer all the way down there so the rotor doesn't get bit up on the vise itself. Take your tire that you want to change or your tube, and you mount it. Boom. You've got a tire changing machine. Also, don't use screwdrivers. You're gonna poke the new tube, you're gonna rip it, and they're usually not long enough, so they'll bend and they'll snap and you'll be cursing and whatnot. So spend the 20 bucks, go on Amazon, and get yourself some of these. Three-pack tire changing spoons. 20 bucks, worth it. So now that we got this at a nice workable height, we're not on our knees on the floor, we got a tire changing machine. What I do is I'll start at the valve. Obviously you want to remove the cap. There's also a 12mm bolt, well actually it's a nut, that holds the stem for the tube in place. You want to just loosen that guy up. And you just spin it the rest of the way off. All right. Next, you want to break the bead if you didn't do so already. She looks pretty broken. I think we're good to go. If the valve is here, I generally like to start 180 degrees away from the valve. I'll take one of my spoons, and you just want to grab the very edge of the tire itself, and it helps to put pressure down on the opposite side to help break the bead even more. You want to pop this guy up, and then you can lock it underneath the sprocket there. It's real nice. And we got a few other ones. And the trick here is small bites. Don't try and do it all at once. So, you want to get this guy in there. Oh, I got it upside down. And another small bite. Now this one you may have to hold for a little bit, but we've got three. Another small bite. Now we're pretty much at the point where we don't need this guy anymore. And you just keep making small bites. All the way around. We got halfway done. Now we're gonna flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. So at this point now, should be able to take the tube out of it. Gotta find the stem. So yeah, this tube was shredded. I don't think we're gonna be able to reuse that. That's where that goes. Also keep in mind, the tires themselves are rotational. They have a direction. Make sure you pay attention to which way it came off. If you can't figure it out, obviously the sprocket is only on one side of the bike and the rotor goes on the other. So you want the rotation to face forward when you put that back on. So we're gonna wanna put it on that way. So, what you want to do is you want to inspect this rim band in the center. You want to make sure it's in one piece, obviously, covering all the spokes. You don't want anything that's going to potentially puncture your brand new tube. This seems pretty good. Let's get the new tube. Learn from my mistakes. Don't buy tubes on Amazon. Go to name brand, Tusk. These are heavy duty 2mm motorcycle tubes. Probably good. Because I just did this the other day. Put a brand new tube in from Amazon. I rode it down the block. Didn't hit anything. And the tube just exploded. Not like I had 60 pounds of air in it. What fell? Oh, the new cap. Don't want to lose that. So, yeah, I had 12 PSI of air in it, which is what it's supposed to be. And it just popped. None of these spokes are loose. There's nothing poking through. The rim band is still in one piece. So, don't buy tubes on Amazon. Get a name brand. Look at that, it's even got the size on there. 60 by 100, 14-inch rim. Sounds about right. All right, let's get this set up. So first, you want to inflate your new tubes. Obviously, you want to make sure that they're going to hold air, you know, and you're not wasting your time doing this. But also, it helps for installation if you have them slightly inflated. You see, this is still bendable. It's not like I have it filled up all the way. Slightly inflated, that's the trick. There's 2 nuts on them. You just want to take one of them off. And with a higher quality tube, you can see it's kind of powdery. They pre-powder them for you. Real nice of them. So, what you want to do first is you want to just stuff this guy into the tire. Now, like I said, if it's inflated a little bit, it's going to help as you do this. And you can just spin it around and work it in there. Also, being partially inflated, it doesn't twist or bind or anything in there. It lays in there the way it's going to sit. And once it's all in, the next step is crucial. You're going to need some sort of lubricant. No, I don't mean KY jelly. You might want to get yourself some WD-40, Soapy Waterworks. There's also a specific chemical that they sell over the counter at motorcycle shops specifically for this, but if you want to save yourself, I don't know, 20 bucks a can, WD. Spray everything. Make a mess. You can't have too much. Lubrication is your friend. Again, we want to double check which way we're going to be rotating, if I can find it. Probably should have looked at this first. There it is. Rotational arrow is pointing that way. So obviously sprocket needs to come on this side. The tire is going to be mounted this way. So we want to find the hole, stick this in there. Once you got it lined up, she starts poking through. And you can get your nut started on it to kind of hold it in place. I'm blocking you. Alright, so we got that on a couple of turns. Now, it's a good thing we used lots of lube because it's going to help with ease of installation. You don't have to tighten it down all the way, just get it a good chunk on there. So this way the tube's not going to really move around on you. And you want to get the beads inside the wheel and put it on manually as far as you can. I think that's going to be about it. Sacrifice one of your spoons. Just kind of hold it down. And then you start working the other ones in. Sometimes it helps to have 3 hands. But we know that's not happening. So, it's fighting me. So we're going to speed this up a bit. we got the tire back on there, what I like to do is also press the valve in a few times. Make sure it's not binding up on anything. And we're golden. Now we can tighten this nut on the valve down the rest of the way. We're going to use a wrench for that. Inflate it to set your beads. Pop it back off. Set it to your appropriate pressure. Pop it back on the bike. Hope this helps.